All right, welcome to Lesson 9 in our section ODE features in Module 2 of our course. Now we're going to talk a little bit about missing data. Quick recap. Missing data are values that should have been recorded but were not. Okay, so remember that's very important. That's different than data that was inputted and it can be 0, for example. Right? So missing data can be represented by a number of ways. So you can just leave it blank, the cell in your data set, or you can write something in it, for example, a 0 or a -1 to represent that you don't have that information. When it's blank, your computer might read it as null, for example, or it can say NA, which means that the field is empty, or it can say NaN, which stands for not a number, or if there are any problems with calculations, for example, if they're doing an operation and you can't show the result, it can show, for example, INF, which means that operation didn't really work well. But instead of finding a number there, you're gonna see all of these representations of missing data, okay? But very importantly, if we don't have, for example, if we have a company didn't report their quarter results, for example, and it just shows 0 there, that's very important that we don't mistake that 0 for it had $0 in revenue, for example. That is a missing data. So the number is out there somewhere. It's just not on our data set. So we can't just conclude and assume that the number is 0. All right? That is very important. And having said that, let's go back to our little beloved table on Open Data Editor. And now I'm going to get your attention to this little column here called address. So we have the address of the school here. Let's see. So all these schools have very detailed information. And I'm going to get 100 results per page because the first results here all have addresses normally, but then what do we get? This one is just NA, this one is NA, this one is NA, and we have some more that are just saying NA. So is that the address of the school? Obviously not. So that is a sign that this is missing data. And our obligation here, our responsibility is to report that on the metadata section so other people can see that this is not an A. This is missing data. So when they open this data set in their computer, the computer is going to read it accordingly, and you won't have problems if you need to analyze this table, okay? So let's go to metadata. So clicking on schema, we can have here the missing values, and ODE gives us a hint of what they are. Many data sets arrived with missing data values, either because a value was not collected or it never existed. So if we put here the value that we want the computer and ODE to see as missing data, that is going to work for all of the columns. So we can do that here. Or we can go straight to the field, in this case, the address. We can see that it's a string, and we can see here missing values. So I can put it here, or I can put it there, because going back to our table, we can see that pretty much, the code, we have the code for every school, and we have the name for every school, and all these other informations we already know that we have it all filled out. So we don't have NAs in the other parts of the data, right? So we can just choose, and now I'm gonna choose to do that on the field. So I'm going back here to address, and then I'm just gonna write down NA. So it's gonna see everything that appears as NA in the column address should show as missing data. So let's see what happens. Going back to 100 results per page. Now, there it is. See, now the value is just empty. The cell has nothing in it. So before it was shown as just another type of text inside the column, right? So that could mislead a computer into thinking that NA was a valid value for the address column. So now it's just showing that it's missing. So when the computer is going to read it, someone else's computer, they are probably going to let the person know that in these cases, there is no address for the school. So that concludes our lesson on documenting the missing data inside your metadata. And I will see you now for the next lesson.